Welcome to Take a Look, 1992. Ray Liotta's final movie and Tyrese Gibson's self-proclaimed most important film to date. Tyrese shares Ray's final days on set and best memories. Let's sit down to reminisce. Hey, speaking of 90s, that 90s show, crushing it on Netflix in its rebirth. We'll catch up with the cast and crew. You started the summer with The Fall Guy on big screens. Now end the summer with its extended cut coming to your home. Another super powerful movie hits theaters, the Mexican-American deep dive trafficking drama City of Dreams. We'll catch up with its scene-stealing star and director. And Cowabunga, finishing with fun. Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles hits Paramount Plus. One of the nation's leading film critics shows us why it's a game changer as we take a look.
Guess that's... Sorry, I was just talking to my mom. She's got to stop talking to me right before I do the show. This is Take a Look. You've come at a very good time. It's comedian Steph Sanders. How are you, sir?
I'm great. Fantastic. I can't wait. Excited.
Me too. We're going to be laughing and crying some of the time. Starting off with a really powerful movie, 1992. You ready?
Yeah, I am. I'm ready for that. You know, it's kind of poignant because I love film because it will take you through an experience that you hear about in a cathartic way. So you get an expression at this. So.
Exactly. You pretty much echo exactly what Tyrese told me when we sat down to talk about this. It's truly an action movie set during the Rodney King riots of 1992. But at the end of the day, you're going to feel like you just saw an action movie until you really start to digest it and a more powerful message comes out. I also talked to his co-star Scott Eastwood about it. Take a look. Good to see you, sir.
Good to see you, partner.
Awesome work in this.
Thanks.
And I'm not saying this because we're toe-to-toe, but this is among the best thing you've ever done.
Well, thank you.
On the top of a great foundation.
Thank you. That's very nice of you.
I know it's been a minute, but talk about like 10, 20 movies from now, the day on the set you're going to remember the most from this.
Ooh, I think working with Ray Liotta in 10, 20 years from now, I mean, getting to talk to him about, you know, really important movies that he did, Goodfellas, working with Martin Scorsese, getting to spend a summer with him, seeing how he works, seeing what an electric actor he was. I'll remember that forever.
Talking about working with Ray, is there anything that either just being in his presence you picked up on that will leave you forever changed in the way you deal with the scene, the craft, the people, or even anything he told you?
Look, him and I think, have a similar philosophy about this business and about, you know, just kind of a no. Just get out there, know your, keep your head down, keep working hard. And you know, be kind to others and have a good time doing it. This is a great business we're in, and if we're lucky to get to do it and tell stories. So keep working.
That's awesome. Scott Eastwood honoring the late Ray Liotta. I love that moment. Scott Eastwood kind of freaks me out a little bit because he looks not so much like the son of his dad, Clint Eastwood. He looks like a clone of him.
Exactly. Same chin, dent, and everything. It's crazy.
Can you think of, I can think of one other actor in Hollywood whose son looks more like a clone than his son. Ready? 3, 2, 1. Ice Cube. Exactly. What's his name? Shay Jackson.
That's right.
O'Shea.
Exactly. Today was a good day.
Exactly. All right. Speaking of Tyrese, he also honored the late Ray Liotta. This is the final film Ray Liotta will be featured in. Sadly, he's gone, but you can honor him in this performance. And the movie's tremendous. You're going to notice Tyrese is exhausted here. He's a Grammy Award winner, and he has a double album out now. He was working up to the time that he recorded it. Probably like when you're getting ready for a big stand-up gig.
Exactly.
He worked 48 hours straight, then sat down with me, and we talked. Always good to see you. How you holding up?
Man, listen, it's been interesting this round. It's been very interesting.
Getting pulled 12 different ways, I know.
Well, I'm feeling some pressure that I have not felt for any movie I've ever released. You know, Ray Liotta no longer being with us is a huge, you know, like the duality between me and my son in the film versus Scott Eastwood and Ray Liotta and Dylan. And, you know, I've been wanting to tell people, like, if you think you're about to watch a documentary, this is not it. This is a heist movie. It's a thriller. It's uncomfortable. And if you don't eat through all of your popcorn, I've missed the mark.
People are going to go, they got to get the refill.
Yes, sir.
In this movie, somebody's run it into them. It is a popcorn movie. It is enjoyable.
And at the same time, like you said, there's some cringy moments that are going to break open discussions that problems we should have solved in 1992, maybe we can solve them now if this conversation's
Never
right.
too late. Never too late.
I got to show you what a difference a decade makes. In all that's going on in the world right now, I just recovered a video. Sean Edwards, who was in here, friend of ours, he and I walk into a rooftop bar in Moscow 10 years ago. We're the only Americans in there. We look around, and you jumped up on the turntable and said, "It's a Tyrese moment." You broke the ice.
Yeah, I remember this. It's a real deal. It's a
And I
real
just want
moment.
to tell you now, thank you for all of the times. I've sat toe-to-toe with Ray Liotta many times. Never had a chance to tell him thank you for all the times. So right now, in the fleeting moments of this interview, I want to tell you thank you for all the times. How much you mean.
Thank you. I love your heart, man.
Appreciate you and appreciate you making this.
Wow.
With all you got right now, tell people, see 1992 because.
There might be a moment or two, or maybe 5, that's going to activate the sensitivities in you about other people's experiences. You should never be the type of person that say, this is where I live, this is how safe we are, this is what we have, this is what I live in, this is what I eat, and lose touch with the sensitivities of what other people experience.
There you go.
Fantastic.
Powerful words from Tyrese. 1992 is now playing. See it on the biggest screens. Though it's set during the Rodney King riots, it's largely an action movie with a little bit of a message that I think he's dropped on you in his album, Pleasure Pain, right now. Double album out. Get it immediately.
A supremely talented dude. But first of all, I love your heart, too.
Love your heart, too, man.
What are you doing in a Moscow nightclub on purpose?
Now, it sounds seedy, but if you think about it, they had the world premiere of Transformers 3 in Moscow, so there was a reason for us to be there.
All right.
I was not a spy.
That
What are you
makes-
accusing me of?
Hey,
You say you love my heart, then you accuse me of being a Soviet spy?
I gotta ask. American people want to know.
The money was all right. I think about it. I wouldn't do it, but I think
Did you
about
get paid in rubles?
it. No. Well, let's keep it the 90s theme, though. We're about to segue into that 90s show. What do you miss about the 90s?
That's the last time my Cowboys won a Super Bowl, and I miss music videos, man.
I miss music videos. I miss my Teddy Ruxpin. That's all I wanted that Christmas. Oh, look, we already have video up talking about what we're talking about. It's that 90s show. That's who we're talking to next.
The best.
Hey, welcome back to Take a Look. I'm Mark Hassan. That's Steph Sanders. We talk about everything on big screens and small screens. Right now, I want to talk about that 90s show. First, there was that 70s show that crushed it.
Yeah.
Then remember the 80s show?
No.
Exactly. No, nobody. Lasted one season. Nobody remembers it. However, that 90s show is back to crushing it. I love this show.
My favorite era. My favorite era to talk about, to have service about. I love this show.
I love that some of the original cast, at least Red is back, Kurtwood Smith is back, and he's just as cranky, just as curmudgeon as he was. If anyone was destined to stay curmudgeon, it's that guy.
That's all. He's typecast. That's all they can play, because that's all they believe in.
Got it. Hallie is on there. She is great, this new cast member.
The granddaughter.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Plays
yeah.
the granddaughter. I caught up with both of them. Take a look.
The last time I saw you two was in person. I was part of a crowd at the Netflix is a Joke Comedy Festival where they were unleashing the next 2 seasons.
Yeah.
And you guys got this thunderous round of applause. You would think Taylor Swift and Beyonce and both just showed up.
Yeah.
How was it to feel that kind of love?
Oh, fabulous. Because we shoot the show in front of an audience always, and it's terrific getting their response to the show. But in a way, those people have been brought together and been sort of prepared and warmed up by various comedians. So to get that kind of reaction that you're talking about, I think meant an awful lot to us.
The whole cast has such chemistry, new and original cast. What I love about it is generational. Like, I loved watching the original with my parents, and now I get to watch this with my kids. Callie, finish this sentence. People my age will like this show because...
Goodness. Well, I hope that they can relate to it. I think, like, even though it's set in the 90s, I think all of the kids today watching it will still be able to relate to at least some regard. And I think that they can relate to just, like, a silly, weird friend group that everyone's different and they'll be able to see themselves in each character, hopefully. And then, of course, the people who watched 70s show will be able to relate to it because they did grow up in the 90s. So we get the best of both worlds, I think, for everyone watching.
The show is killing it on Netflix. Check it out. Another season headed your way right now. What do you miss about the 90s?
Pagers.
Pagers? Did you have a
and
pager?
CDs. I miss CDs, big CD cases.
Yeah, and I miss Blockbuster.
Yeah.
I miss
yeah.
the Macarena.
Yeah.
I miss something you're not going to remember called Earthworm Jim. Anybody?
Ah.
Anybody? I'm alone on that one
No.
person in the booth and Tasha on camera. So there. Look it up, kids. Look up Earthworm Jim.
Don't.
But I digress. We got to move on. Ready to get serious for a
I'm
minute?
ready. Let's go.
All right, so we talked about this in the green room. Both of us brought to tears. City of Dreams is going to bring you to tears too. Also quite inspirational. It's trafficking of a type that we haven't talked about. A young kid wants to be a soccer star, and it almost enslaves him for life. This is based on a true story, and I can't wait to take you behind the scenes. Also, The Fall Guy. How could it get any bigger? At home? Yes, it's coming to your home, and yet it's getting bigger. I'll explain. Size does matter when it comes to this movie. We'll talk about that next. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look. I'm Marcus Allen. As world-famous comedian Steph Sanders. By the way, the Barely Tall Enough Tour kicks through the Southwest in Austin, Texas next month.
Yeah.
Where do they get tickets?
LiveNation.com. You can go livenation.com or Barely Tall Enough, put it in your Google search, and it'll come right up.
Is that all you came for, to plug stuff?
That's right.
I set you up.
I need to make some rubles in my stuff.
Stop with the rubles. We're already getting calls, emails, and I'm getting trolled. All right, moving along to something a little bit serious for a minute. I know you love this movie. I love this movie. We're talking about City of Dreams. What sparked your mind the moment you saw this movie?
Nothing like the title. It's oftentimes you're going to a movie thinking it's about something else, and this movie was totally heavy. As a matter of fact, in this movie I had to put down my popcorn. So very heavy. A subject matter that we hear about a lot but never see, and this was very, very touching.
You told me that it reminded you, by title, obviously, City of God, but
Yeah.
also kind of the same notes and the same tone.
Exactly, same tone, just a very serious, but they made it entertaining for you, as movies should be, but very serious subject matter, but well done. And the acting was tremendous.
Absolutely. Edge on your seat action the whole time. It's talking about a different type of trafficking. Your kid wants to be a soccer star, thinks he's going to that type of camp, but in fact gets enslaved to be essentially a sweatshop employee or slave, as it were. I talked to Moeet, the director, who did a phenomenal job, and Ari, who crushed his performance. Take a look.
You know, Mo, this stuff is happening here in LA, and I didn't know about that. And I read a case about 72 immigrants that were trapped in a residential facility in El Monte, California, and they were being forced to sew and make clothes for fast fashion. And what I found so interesting was I'd seen movies about human trafficking, and they always focused on sex trafficking, and I felt like, you know, sex trafficking doesn't touch every single one of us. It's something people want to go, oh, that has nothing to do with me, but each and every one of us has a piece of clothing that definitely was made in a sweatshop. Like, there was this idea of modern day slavery has been interesting to me because it's so bizarre as a concept that we still have slavery. You know, we've done a lot in the last 100 years. We've achieved so much technologically and as a society, but the fact that there's still slavery, I think that was the main driving force.
And this story, bringing it to life, the face of it sitting to your right, casting is key. You crushed it. And
Thank you.
You, sir, talk about bringing it to life. And also, I got to give you props on some mad soccer skills that you obviously have.
Yeah, I mean, I had no football soccer skills before the movie at all. So
Wow.
Yeah, I had to take some soccer lessons. I also had to take sewing lessons and English lessons because I talked like a caveman. So to communicate, I mean, my character is a mid, so to communicate with the crew, with the director, of course, I had to take English lessons. And, a mid character.
A new character that he nailed. I'd be shocked if he doesn't get nominated for Academy Award for this, at least all of the awards leading up to that. The fact that he didn't know how to play soccer before this amazes me.
That amazes me. Wow. I feel like I'm not doing much with my life now.
That was very, if you want to make yourself a better person, make the world a better place, go see the show and see how you might be able to help. All right, in the meantime, moving on, I said go see this on big screens. You started the summer with Fall Guy, did you not?
Yeah, I did.
You saw it on the biggest screen possible because I told you wouldn't be disappointed that way, and you probably weren't. Well, now bring it home, and it's bigger. How is it bigger, you might ask?
Yeah, how is it bigger?
The director has an extended cut. We talked to the cast about all of it. Take a look.
I'm just a stunt guy, trying to look cool in front of the director of this movie. That's her, who I just so happen to have a major crush on.
We need to keep it super profesh.
Cool. Do you want to make out?
Nope.
Because I don't either. It's not what I'm into right now.
Making out?
Yeah.
What are you into?
Talking.
Yeah.
There's always been this strange dynamic on set that's just accepted where the stunt person comes in, they do all the cool stuff, they risk more than anyone, and then they disappear into the shadows and sort of pretend as though you did it. And it's always felt weird, and it's just been so great to finally kind of dispel all of that and start to just dig in a little bit to the reality of how this works, because I feel like, you know, I mean, there's a great scene in this movie. It's Logan Holiday who breaks the Guinness World Record for most cannon rolls in a film ever. He puts me in the car and like belts me in for a stunt he's gonna do. He breaks the world record. Then he pulls me out of the car and pats me on the back for the stunt he just did.
And all you were doing, you were still digesting your breakfast burrito. That's
Yeah,
all you'd done
I
all
was just
morning.
like,
Put a bit of fake sweat on him, and you were just like, my tummy feels funny.
I love that sequence because you know you're watching art imitate life, imitating art, all at the same time. Like you were doing exactly what the movie's talking about being done.
Exactly, but in most films you would never know that, and that's what's so exciting about this is that it's really
Dispelling the myth.
You know what? I love the homage to the stunt personnel. I want to be a stunt double. I want to be Kevin Hart's or Cat Williams' stunt double.
There's absolutely no reason why you couldn't do either of those.
I can do both of those. That's it.
All right. Is that what you talk about on your tour?
That's it. Yeah, them. And I think I could be Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles stunt double too.
You know whose stunt double I could be?
Who?
Annie Lennox. Do you know who that is?
You're right.
That late 80s reference.
Pink
Eurythmics.
too,
Everybody
Pink.
said I used to look like her. Anyway, moving on. This movie has an extended cut. You're going to love it. And we're talking a lot about 90s here. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were born in 1990. Coming up in a moment, the series that keeps them going and the nation's leading youngest film critic ever. Next. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look. I'm Marcus Allen. It's the world-famous comedian Steph Sanders.
Hey.
Thanks for hanging out, man.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, man.
All right, I'm trying to think
love
of
it.
where you are in life back at the very tip of 1989, right when 1990 rolls around and the world learns of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Did they mean anything to you?
At middle school, I loved it. Yeah.
All right. Well, they are back and bigger than ever. The movie that just came out about a year ago, half a year ago, blew people away, spawned this series, and I'd love to talk about it, and I know you're going to bring it. However, I thought I'd bring in an expert. Is that okay?
Hey, that's fine. We can take it. I'll take it.
I know this guy because he was the youngest critic inducted to the Broadcast Film Critics Association, now known as the Critics' Choice Awards, and remains so. And he was like 4 years old then. I think he's like 105 now. Jackson Murphy, welcome into the show. Jackson, how are you?
Mark and Steph, thanks so much for having me on.
Babyface Jackson.
I've got to be honest again. I remember you being a kid, so the fact that you have facial hair, I still think like that's a Halloween costume. I apologize.
Yes, I'm getting old now. I'm getting old. No. But yeah, I've been friends with you for a long time, and it's been a thrill to be a part of your career and Critics' Choice. It's been a wild ride, man.
Yeah, what a long-lasting, mediocre career it's been. Now, Jackson, I want to talk about you. You're still one of the youngest members of the Critics' Choice Awards, but you really do specialize in animation, so I want to talk to you about Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Where do they hit you?
Yes, I really enjoyed this show. I love reporting for animation for the website animationscoop.com, and I do the LCJ Q&A podcast. Love talking to animation makers, and this show is a lot of fun. It kind of separates the Turtles. Each of the first 4 episodes is about one of them specifically trying to face off against this foe, Bishop. They'll all come together kind of mid-season point and do that. I love the comic book animation style. The humor is there, and the voice actors from that movie from last year, Mutant Mayhem, including the 4 teenagers who voiced the Turtles, are back for this, which is just terrific. Io Debris as well as April O'Neil, and it's a thrill to see the Turtles still alive and well for new generations.
Yeah, it's super cool. I love that you chatted with the guys that have been along with the Teenage Turtles since the very beginning of this mutant ride. You chat with the showrunners. Take a look.
The kids are out in the world, like they can go out on the streets of New York and walk around, because the public is aware of them. They go to high school, so you're getting to see the Turtles in different lighting scenarios, say, a lot more in this show than normal.
Yeah. And how do you, Alan, get into the mindset of teenagers of 2024 wanting to go to parties and doing a lot on social media? We see a lot of that in these episodes.
Well, I think one of the easiest thing that we have is the original cast is our voice actor, and they are real teenagers. So it organically blends in this authentic teenager experience, like, because we kick off right off the bat with like them going to a party. That's how they get separated.
Super cool. The showrunner is talking about Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I really dig the series because I dug the original movie.
Yeah, I love it. That's what I was going to say. Babyface Jackson, one question. The original movie,
Sure.
the original movie and the movie that came out last year, do they have any, since it's such a big hit, any plans to do more movies like this?
Yes, this show takes place in between that movie and the sequel to Mutant Mayhem, which is going to come out October 9, 2026 in theaters from Paramount. And I tried to get Chris Yost and Alan Wan, the showrunners, to reveal a little bit about the sequel. They have to keep major secrets on this. They can't reveal anything, but it was awesome to talk to them. They've been with the comics and also with the previous Turtles series, and now coming together for this. They had a great time, and all 12 episodes on Paramount Plus, and I think it's going to continue to be a big hit into the fall, and maybe we'll get more seasons of this as well.
Awesome. Jackson Murphy, lights, camera, Jackson.com, and talk about the animation website one more time where we can find you.
Yes, animationscoop.com. The most talented people working in this industry today are in animation, and I love speaking with them.
All right, so that's going to do it for the show. We got to wrap it up. Where are we going to be able to find you?
I am Steph Sanders everywhere. I am Steph Sanders. Look out for the international tour soon. Japan, Dubai, a lot of places.
Awesome. On Instagram, I'm TV Mark S. Allen. Also, be sure to like and subscribe this show on YouTube if you missed anything. Hey, if you were a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, which one would you be?
Donatello. Gotta be Donatello.
Awesome.
Yeah. What would you be? Who would you be?
I'd just be the guy turtle from Entourage because I don't know Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We'll see you next time. Have a good one. Peace out.